No, that wasn't Romeo. Sorry, forget. That was not Romeo and Juliet. Forget that. Shh. Or was it? It wasn't, right? Wait. I don't think it was. Dude, where are the programs? Okay, they're here. Freed, was not down, Blast Samurai. It was not. I was right. It was not Romeo and Juliet. I'm Bea Minimos. Hi, and today we're going to talk about whatever the fuck happened in skate motherfucking Canada. Because what the fuck was that? Like, genuinely, like, what the hell was that? Like, that makes like, I keep looking at these scores and I'm just confused. So I'm going to talk about the bad things first, and then I'm going to talk about the good things that happened in Skate Canada. I think with the women, that was an overall good event. My favs medaled, so that's okay. But I will say that I was very surprised by the fact that the United States Federation simply left Sarah Everhart do the fucking dogs. Like, what was that? Again, I do not think she was underscored. Like, there's many people on Twitter who are like, oh my god, they're all underscoring Sarah. I don't think she was underscored, but I do think that in comparison to the other American ladies like Isabel Levito and Brady Tennell, I don't think Sarah's score was like okay. Like, I'm gonna like, if you look at her last season scores, they were nothing like this. Like, they in the free, she got an under rotation on her first combo, a edge call and a Q on her triple flip, a Q on her triple loop sequence. She got a Q on she got an under rotation on her triple Lutz, a Q on her triple Lutz and on the double loop on the combination, and then an under rotation on the triple Salchow. Like, that's a lot of calls. That is a lot of calls, and for someone who's, we're normally used to seeing American skaters like not really get these many calls, and then suddenly they just boom, Sarah Everhart getting every single call there is in existence. In her short, she did get a under rotation on her Lutz, so there was that. But again, I don't think it was as bad. And then you look at the free and you're just like, what did they not call? What jump is there left to put calls on? So I was very surprised by that. Like, I was not expecting that at all. I was definitely expecting her to place higher than, I don't know, because the Yuna Aoki and Laura Naki Gutman are also, I love Laura. Okay, I would give my life. Like, the fact that the Italian women only have one spot is eating me alive, because I also really like Anna. So, like, looking at the both of them, I'm like, only one of them is going to the Olympics. Like, no. But I love her Shark program. Like, that's so cool. Like, I love how creative she is with her programs. I said I was going to talk about the bad things first and then good things, but fuck that. I'm going to talk about the women first. Who are the good things? Truly. But yeah, Sarah's scores were... in the free specifically, I was very confused. And again, you compare these scores to her last season scores, and you're just like, what happened? Did they just leave her? Like, and I don't even see a reason for the American Federation to do this, besides the fact that she's new. Because the Olympic team is basically decided. Like, I know a few days ago, I was like, I don't think the third spot is, like, as set in stone. And then I thought about that tweet for an hour or so, and I was like, you know what, it is. It truly is. But unless one of them, Amber, Elisa, or Isabel, gets injured, I don't think anyone else is going, unfortunately, which is very sad. But yeah, like, again, Isabel Vito gets the kudos for the American Federation because has been a world medalist, and and Brady Tennell has been around for a long time. So again, I understand that she's getting like those points from being around for a long time, which is not normal, but in figure skating, and it unfortunately is normal. And then Sarah is new, but at the same time, again, for a skater from the United States, I was not expecting calls this harsh, especially when her teammates, like, they were not as mean, especially with Isabel. Like, Isabel could be getting edge calls. I love Isabel, but her jumps truly scare me. And sometimes I watch her skate and I can't really be happy for her scores, because I'm like, your jumps should not be getting this much GOE. They shouldn't, because they're not right. They're going... Also, like, I look at her and I just see Anna Sherbakova and, like, Evgenia Mediatova, and I'm like, oh my god. these programs to me are just very the same as the ones. And I know last season she had a bunch of problems, so she didn't really compete with her programs as much. So again, I understand. But I don't know. I hope that after the Olympics, we can see her doing something different because this is just, I don't know. It's not boring because again, I love her spins and step sequences, but it's kind of more the same. It's like a very stereotypical figure skating women's program, and that's. But if that is her thing, then let her do it. But I wanted to see something different. Speaking of different, I love Emmy's short. I wish I could show. Maybe I can while I'm talking. I don't know, but I do not want because sometimes they don't let me show stuff. But Emmy Dakai's short program is really good. It didn't go as well here as it did in her first France, exactly. They this change of events sequence it this is throwing me off so bad because I can't believe after Skate Canada we're gonna get an HK trophy and then Skate America, what is going on? Why did we start with Grand Prix de France? I don't know, that's very confusing to me. But yeah, Amina Kai, her she scored 78 in her last Grand Prix assignment in the short, and now she scored 66, which is a big difference. But at the same time, it's her first senior season, and she did basically qualify for the Grand Prix here. I think she's basically qualified. If she doesn't, I'm gonna kill myself, but I'm pretty sure she's qualified for the Grand Prix here. So, and again, I do love her programs. I'm very excited to see her, and I don't know, the Japanese women, they kill me because there's 3 spots for Japanese women, and there's 10 of them that should be going to the Olympics, and that take the spots from that one country that is not going, but their athletes are going. Take those spots those 3 spots that they should get, and give them to Japan. I think we should do that. I think it's fair. I think it's very fair. I think it's 100% fair. You lose some, you win some. But yeah, Monet Chiba. I did not put her on my fantasy. I did put Amy, which is kind of a bad idea of me. I don't know why. But with Monet Chiba, I'm always very scared for her because she just gets really low components sometimes for no fucking reason. Her and Wakaba both. I don't know what it is that these judges and the Japanese Federation have against them specifically, but Monet Chiba and, Wakaba Iguchi, they get so many low components sometimes for no fucking reason. But yeah, I'm really happy that she brought the Last Dance program back because I did not really like her new short, but I did love the Last Dance one. And I like the new dress. There's also people who did not like the new dress, but I think the new dress is nice. Again, the last one was also really good, but I don't know. I don't know which one I like better. I'm still thinking about it, but I think they're both really good. I think you guys are just haters. Romeo and Juliet and Bolero, what the fuck, need to go. And speaking of Bolero, let's go to the men because I'm tired of not being a hater. Kevin, I'm not really rooting for Kevin for obvious reasons. The social ones, the ones of supporting people with weird allegations. But even if I was, you can't go into an Olympic season with Bolero and then expect, especially a fucking free skate, and then expect it to go well. Did we forget who skated to Bolero in 2022? Because it was Kamila Valieva. Do you remember what happened to Kamila Valieva? Yeah, we all do. The doping case, that. And besides, I already hated Bolero before because it's such a boring warhorse. I don't know. It truly feels like something bad is going to happen because it's the same thing over and over again. I think it's a warhorse that is very, very repetitive, and so I don't like it. I don't know, I never liked it, but then after Beijing, we were all traumatized. So you can't just expect to go to the Olympics with the song that traumatized everyone last Olympics and then expect the skating gods to answer your prayers. They won't. Kevin did not do well in the free. I did not watch his short, I'm sorry, so I'm not going to talk about his short, but in the free, I watched it. I watched a part of the free in the supermarket, and so I had to rewatch it to make this video because I'm not going to be here hating for no reason. But yeah, the last few skaters The last group, I watched it at the supermarket, and it was traumatizing because I was like, first of all, this was continented in Alquasa, and that continent doesn't really have data, like internet overall. So like I was trying to put it and then it wasn't working, but then it did, and I was able to watch Nikolai, which, let's talk about him, shall we? I know that he has done better performances. He has, and I know that his program could have been better. But the ISU and the Italian Winter Sports Federation want to explain to me why this man got 80.28 in components, including a motherfucker fucking 6.96 in composition. I understand why he's not getting 8s and 9s in skating skills. I understand. With the skating skills, I do. The presentation and the composition, I do not understand. In the short, I don't understand why he didn't get like an 8 in presentation and composition. His programs are good. Nikolai Mamola is one of the only skaters right now, for me, that has like an Olympic feeling program. You know, Yuma Kageyama also has them. Like, I look at his programs and I'm like, that is my Olympic champion. I look at Nikolai Mamola and I'm like, that is my Olympic bronze medalist. Because a lot of these people have, I'm not gonna lie, I love, for example, Mikhail Shidorov. He's competing in Skate America, which I'll talk about in a second. But his free is so much worse this season than it was the last season. And I really like him and I really wanted him to podium. But with this program, sir, I can't stand behind it. But yeah, you know, if he gets good scores, I'm going to be happy anyways. But I don't like this there's like, I don't know what is this season. I feel like last Olympic season, everyone had like such cool programs. And then now they're doing the least possible. You know, they're either not taking any risks or they're just like, I don't know, skating, making like a bad, I don't know what it is. But yeah, thank you Nikolai Mamola and Yuma Kageyama for giving us Olympic programs for the Olympic season, because without you guys, we would be in the motherfucking trenches. And we kind of are, but we could always be worse. With men's figure skating, always remember, yes, we're doing bad, but it could probably always be worse. Because it's men's figure skating, anything can happen. I hate men's figure skating. Even in Cup of China, like, the scores in Cup of China were already fucking weird. The judges were seeing cues and edge calls and under rotations where they did not exist. Like, I promise you there's many skaters from the countries that you like, aka the United States, Russia, and some skaters from Japan. Some, I don't know what it is. And they're not getting calls for shit. And when they do get calls, they're complaining like, oh my god, I did 7 quadruples and I got calls in every single one of them. I can't believe it. Well, I can't. I watched the fucking jumps in slow-mo and I can't fucking believe it. But anyways, I'm going to talk about that guy in a second. But in Cup of China, Mikhail Shidorov got like an insane cue on like, I forgot which jump it was, but it was one of his quads. Or was it the triple? No, it wasn't one of his quads. And everyone on Twitter was like, where did they see that? Genuinely, where did they see that? Because like when they're actual like under rotation, sometimes they just don't see them. I don't know what is going on this season, but I feel like this season they're making it so obvious who they want to win the Olympics, because, you know, some of these people are getting very generous scores. Nika, let's go to Nika Igatse from Georgia. You know, the Atari boy. I don't dislike him. I used to, because I could not forgive him for making me have to look at Atari even after Russia was banned. But, you know, after seeing how Atari treats him at the kiss and cry sometimes, and just, I don't know, I feel bad for him. So, like, I'm always rooting for his best. But I will say, these scores, like, I do not understand why he's ahead of Nikolai. I genuinely do not. I don't. Especially in the free. Like, I truly, he's ahead in the free. I'm not insane, right? Like, yeah, he's ahead in the free by like 10 points. Like, what is that? I don't know what these scores are when it comes to Atari. I don't know what dirt Atari Tutbrutidze has on everyone on the ISU, but it must be a lot. It must be a lot, because her skaters just get points from the sky. And again, he was kind of flopping. He was menning. He was menning in the free, and I was like, well, at least Nikolai will be above Nika, and then boom. 162.03. Explain that to me without mentioning a Terry. You can't. We need more men wearing proper costumes because I'm tired of you bitches just wearing a fucking shirt and going, okay, you need to die. So yeah, he gets bonus points for that, for me, in my book. Kamiura, oh my god, I did not put him on my fantasy because he's not been doing well. Recently, everyone is like, drop the quadruple loop, and then suddenly he just drops the most insane quadruple loop in history. I don't understand, but I'm really happy. I was very, very happy. Like, when Nikolai was, like, getting the low scores, and then suddenly Kamiura's, like, in the point, and I'm like, you know what? Life is good. Life is good. Life is butterflies and whatever. And yeah, Kazuki too, like, but yeah, I'm a bigger fan of Kamiura. I will say, though, I prefer his Beauty and the Beast program. I think he should bring it back at some point because I don't think we saw enough of it. That must have been the wind. Ilya Malinin is most of the reason why I'm making this video. If I wanted to hear Rupi Kaur poetry, you wanna know what I would do? I would come here and I would type Rupi Kaur audiobook and I would fucking watch one. I would hear one. I would not pull up the Skate Canada, competition. I wouldn't. I simply wouldn't. Also, he was talking in the short about how the judges were strict, and then the next fucking day, he gets a world record with no quadruple axel, mind you, no quadruple axel. Some of his jumps were cues, and they did not get called, even though everyone else was getting calls left and right. He did not get called. He did not get a single motherfucking call on any of his jumps, while everyone else was literally given every single call upon the planet Earth. He wasn't. He was not. And I do not think, by the way, I'm not saying he shouldn't have won. Like, he probably should have, like, on tech score alone. However, first of all, his tech score, right, like here, should not have been 138.49. There was no fucking reason for that. There were jumps that did not get called, that should have gotten called. And then 90.48 component score. 9.14 skating skills. Where? Like, I'm genuinely asking where. I do not have a problem with skaters who are jumpers instead of, like, well-rounded skaters or, like, component skaters. I don't have a problem with that. What I do have a fucking problem is when they're scoring 90. Because he shouldn't have. And I do not think that Ilya cannot pull a good program in terms of, like, I don't know, artistry. He probably can do that, but that's not what he's doing because he's focusing on jumping around. And I don't even want to know how much he's going to score at the Olympics because he's probably going to add another quadruple, which is going to be the fucking quadruple axel, because I cannot see him going to the Olympics and not doing the quadruple axel. I do want to say that I'm kind of glad that whoever is, like, advising him has told him to finally drop, like, all the quads in competitions where he doesn't need to be doing all that. Even though there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And he's going to do 7 with the quadruple axel. And you want to know why? He has done 7 quadruples. You want to know why he did not get the world record then? Because he got calls that he should have gotten here, and he didn't. And I do not think that's normal. I do think Ilya Malinin has the potential to break this exact world record. I do think he has the potential to be known as the best jumper in history, one of the greatest of all time. But if this shit keeps going, he's going to be known as just another American skater that got insane component scores for no fucking reason instead of a really good technician. Again, the most insane jumper we've ever seen. Because everyone is going to be looking at his programs and being like, his components are mid, and he's going to get higher scores than Yuma. If he gets higher components than Yuma Kageyama at the Olympics, for no reason, like, unless, like, Yuma falls, whatever, like, if that doesn't happen, if they both skate clean and he gets higher components, I will genuinely crash out. I will have that one video I've posted here, find me a sport worse than ice dancing. That will be me. Find me a sport worse than men's figure skating when there's an American man involved. But yeah, this is kind of like when artists do the most to be at top number one billboard. Nobody's going to remember you as the guy who was at the top number one billboard. They're going to remember you as the guy who was doing all that to get on the number one billboard. And again, I also do not think it's normal that Ilya's team consistently complains about scoring when he's getting scores like that. Every now and then. The other day, was it Raf or was it Ari? One of them had the guts to say that the ISU was not pushing jumps. This was when he got when he did the 7 quads in France. I think it was Grand Prix de France last year. And then every single one of his quadruples got called because they needed to get called. And then he put it on a hoodie and whatever, and everyone was like, fucking, what the fuck is this guy? And then either Raf or Ari came and said that the ISU was not pushing jumps forward. Then what are they pushing forward, huh? If they're not pushing jumps forward, what are they pushing forward? I'll never forget the components comment, because one of the reason why I was mad at the gay component thing, the gayflation thing, was not even because he was being slightly homophobic and misogynistic. It was mostly because how dare Ilya fucking Malinin from the United States of America complain that his components are low. Your components were low at the time because they were bad, and they weren't even low, they were very high for what you were doing. You were getting overscored in components and complaining that they weren't giving you enough points and that you needed to say you were gay so you could get more points. Because gayflation is real, as we all... I wish it was, because then my favorite skaters would be doing well, but they're not. So gayflation isn't real. And then they send him to sensitivity training, which is literally just media training, and now everyone pretends that didn't happen and that we don't keep seeing this type of behavior from his team. Because we still see it. Ari was being misogynistic last season for no fucking reason. Ilya stays with him. He's a world level figure skater. He has won most competitions he's been in for the past 3 years. I promise you, if he wanted to change his fucking team, he would. I don't know, it's just very sad to me because this overscoring that Ilya gets makes men's figure skating boring. He could have such a cool rivalry, whatever, with Yuma Kageyama, and we're never going to see that simply because of this stuff. The ISU is going to do everything they can to make sure that Ilya gets that medal and that Yuma never even dreams of getting it. And I don't like that. And you want to know what's going to happen? Everybody is going to because I think if everything goes well at the Olympics, if Ilya skates clean, he will get a medal both in the short and the free and then the overall. But in the short, if he wins the short against Yuma, who also skates clean, everybody's going to be like, what the fuck? Because in the short, there isn't the technical quad difference. The difference is mostly in PCs. And Yuma has better components than Ilya. And even people who are not figure skating fans can see it. Because it's fucking obvious. And if he does win the short, everyone's going to be like, well, sure, I guess. So, I don't know. Personally, if I was a skater, I would want to be scored fairly instead of I don't know, whatever this is. Even the fucking rate of execution is insanely high on these jumps. Again, in the competition where they were being very strict to everyone, suddenly this happens and he just gets 4s and 5s all across the board, 90 components, 138 technical score, 202.8 overall. How much would... No, in the free and then overall... this website doesn't fucking work. And then on overall, 333.81. That is he was a whole entire short program ahead of the second place, and that is not normal. I mean, it would be normal if they was scored fairly. If he was scored fairly, but my god, that's so insane. Because he would have been a bunch of points ahead. But I'm that's so insane that he's doing all these squads or whatever. But no, he's getting overscored, his team is misogynistic, he has implied a bunch of times that scoring is strict, whatever the fuck. Are they strict, or are you just not rotating your jumps properly? And again, here they were strict to every single skater except for Ilya, and everyone can see it. So yeah, I think I'm gonna stop ranting. Talking about good things, Maya Mutual got to give barrelage to Nikolai. That was her who gave her the little bear, and he has a little bear, and he brought it to do the both kiss and cries, and that was really cute. And I really hope that one day Portugal will have an ice rink, and then we will have the World European Championships here, and then I will also get a picture with my favorite skaters. I didn't even talk about his free skate. I'm sorry, his free skate is so bad. You are something but not nothing. Again, if I wanted to look at Ropicore, I would have. This is bad. You are something but not nothing is bad. The quotes, again, I feel that he had an artistic vision. And I can't consider him an artist because he said like figure skating is an art. Don't tell a painter how to paint their painting. Something like that. Again, horrible analogy. Get off Pinterest. But Ilya, I can consider you an artist, but I do think this is bad art. It's not that the quote, again, a lot of people are cringing from, he's voiceovering his own program. I think it's cool as fuck. I think voiceovering your own fucking program is extremely fucking cool. These quotes, however, are really fucking bad. The Embrace the Storm one, for example, cool. That would have been fire. You are something but not nothing. What is this? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Can we be serious for a second? Like, again, it would be... I understand what he's trying to say, but the quote is so badly constructed that it sounds so fucking silly. So yeah, please fix that. He's not gonna fix that. He doesn't give a fuck. But yeah, this overscoring is crazy. I would really enjoy watching Ilya skate if he was scored fairly and not surrounded by misogynists. But that's not gonna happen anytime soon. So yeah, let's wait for an HK trophy. And then Skate America is gonna be even worse. Oh my god.